What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down what I think is going to play out going forward because we do have a very important week. I do see the fact that we have many big earnings for next week, and I do believe they could help Tesla actually move to the upside. But there is a bearish indicator we have to talk about, which is essentially giving us some signs as to what this thing may end up doing as we get closer to the FOMC meeting. I'm also going to talk about this incident that happened involving the Tesla summon feature that did lead to Tesla kind of hitting this jet that cost about $2 million. So I actually want to break down the context about this and talk about whether this is true or not and what this means for Tesla. And also I want to end the video by talking about what on earth Elon Musk liked on his Twitter page, what he replied to. That's very important for Tesla and the future of this company. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about what's going on, I do have to mention some very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull with the link down below and deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. Once again, that's free money. And you could always sell these 5 free stocks for cash and buy some Tesla shares for free. This is a limited time offer that ends in 2 weeks, so please check it out to get your free Tesla stock. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we're down about 0.37% for the day. We did have a bit of a red day, but I actually want to break this down in a little bit more detail because it's not the end of the world. In fact, next week looks pretty good for Tesla. I do think we're going to have some bullish price action, but there is that one indicator suggesting that we are going to have a bit of a drop from where we are right now, and that is this gap right over here. So I actually want to break this down in a little bit more context. Obviously, Tesla was it closed at around that $977 range, I believe, around what was that on Monday, I think, or is that Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. Sorry, on Tuesday we had that really low close, and then during the after hours we had the earnings. Tesla killed it. They blew everyone away. And then this thing just, it exploded up to $1,090, but it led to this massive gap that essentially formed right here. And this gap is an indicator that in the near term future, we are going to see Tesla back down in that range. So when is that going to happen? I don't truly know. However, for next week, I essentially pinpointed where next week is and then where the week after leading to the FOMC meeting is. And for next week, I am going to be a little bit more on the bullish side. I do think this thing is going to actually see some better moves, but later on, I do see this thing dropping. And the week after, I do expect this thing to essentially fill the gap and actually end up dropping. So that is the bearish indicator I was referring to. But why do I think this way? Well, next week is a huge week. We have many big tech earnings coming out. Microsoft and Apple are going to be reporting their earnings. We also have Facebook essentially doing it, which is also known as Meta, whatever you want to call it, Apple and Amazon as well. So the giants in the tech world are going to be reporting their earnings, and just one of them could really move the market if it's very, very good. I mean, we saw what happened to Netflix. The entire market took a hit because Netflix missed on their earnings and did absolutely horribly. So if one of these big companies has a really good earnings report, the entire market could also rally. And I think that is something that could happen for next week. So we also have another big fact that's going to play a role, and that is if you consider the red we saw, a lot of it was attributed to the Fed, what the Federal Reserve was announcing and doing. And what's happening is they're entering the blackout period, which means that they're not going to be essentially speaking for a particular period of time. I'm going to break this down in more details on Sunday for you guys, but it just means they're going to be a lot more silence between these dates. And that's essentially leading up to the big meeting where they announce their minutes. So what I think could happen is we're probably going to see a bit of a push to the upside. And I'm not going to give a specific price prediction for Monday yet. I'm going to do that for Sunday. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla ran up, got a slight rejection, then pushed, traded in this range. If there are very, very good earnings, it's possible we push to the upside. And then slowly but surely, we start to descend towards the end of the week. Maybe Apple had a good earnings that pushes us up. Who knows? right? Then we start descending and descending, and we may end up dropping a little bit as we approach that Friday. Then the next trading week comes, and I do expect Tesla to start dropping. And that may be the time we end up filling this gap down here, because when we get closer to the FOMC meeting, obviously there's going to be a lot of uncertainty about what they do involving rate hikes. The market doesn't like uncertainty. So that's when we may get that big drop and that bounce off that 975 range before we continue to see some bullish price action afterwards. So I just wanted to put it out there in a very simple way. Hopefully this is clear. I'm not going to give a particular prediction for Monday just yet. But what I just wanted to talk about is the fact that I do see some good moves coming for next week. I do think the market's going to be in a better position, but I do expect a bit of a drop because of this earnings report. I'm sorry, the FOMC meeting, because the Fed may be announcing a 50 basis point rate hike. And I think that still has to be priced in. And we're also waiting for what other changes they have to their balance sheet reduction. They may end up making more changes. So we have to look very carefully at that and see how the Fed really starts to address these issues that are affecting our economy. But as of right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some good moves for next week, followed by some bearish price action, followed by another good rally after we get that rate hike priced in. So, anyways, that's essentially what how I see this thing moving in a nutshell. I think we're going to trade in this upper range very soon. I'm not going to go into full details with technical analysis. I mean, the volume, it did kind of go up a little bit, but it's we're seeing lots of bearish volume essentially. RSI is pretty moderate at around 48 flat, not great, but not horrible. MACD is still showing we have some upward momentum, but it is getting very close to crossing with the 9-day moving average. So right now, we're in a pretty decent place. It's not a horrible place, but typically when Tesla has red days, right, it likes to be followed by a nice green day after. So I think Monday is going to be a green day. Once again, my specific prediction is going to come out on Sunday. But other than that, I wouldn't be surprised if the chart looked a little bit more like this going into the next few weeks. So I want to talk about this instant now. So right now, the media is going crazy. They're talking about the fact that Tesla on Summit crashes into a parked $2 million jet at an aircraft event. And there's actually a video of this. I can actually play that for you. Hopefully, nothing bad happens if I play it. You can see like the Tesla was moving and ended up going into the jet. I don't know why it's lagging, but you guys could see it ended up, you know, actually causing it to move about 90 degrees before a lot of people ended up interfering. And you can see right here, that's a $2 million Cirrus Vision aircraft. And a lot of people are essentially attacking Tesla for this, but we need some context about this first. If you go down right here, they already knew that the Tesla was using the Summon feature. So Summon is a feature that is a part of Tesla's full self-driving suite, which consists of an owner to literally bring their car to their location using the smartphone and its GPS locator. The car will utilize its external cameras to identify surroundings and objects, but it's not accident proof, is what they're essentially saying. Because when the person was doing this, the Tesla should have identified the plane and actually stopped, and that's not what ended up happening. So maybe it's because of the fact that it didn't have a good angle of the plane, or the cameras didn't capture it properly, or there's still some bugs in it. So it just goes to show that this is something that they should improve at, but it's not the end of the world because it's not entirely Tesla's fault. It was on the summon feature, which puts a responsibility on the person controlling it. So I'm not trying to throw hands at anyone, but the Tesla should have stopped. And that's why some people are saying there's no explanation as to why it did not stop. It's not the end of the world. I mean, issues like this can end up happening. Some people do mention that the radar was one of the main reasons as to why this happened. It wasn't as, efficient as people thought it would end up being. But I just think that Tesla's going to look into this and definitely improve after things like this happen. They are a growing company, and the technology that they are working on is still changing. It's still innovating and improving. So, I mean, I don't even know if I have the full details about this, right? I'm simply reporting based off the most detailed or meticulous source I could find, which is actually this one. There were not a lot of sources giving way too much information about this. So, like I said, we need more details about what actually went down. But if this actually did happen, if someone was controlling it and the Tesla didn't stop, I'm sure Tesla will look into this and they will still improve their car. They'll improve whatever needs to be improved in order to fix that issue. And another thing about that is the fact that Tesla is one of those companies that's always improving. They're always trying to grow from their mistakes. They're not perfect yet. And that's how they're so bullish for the long term. They keep on trying to grow. So this person known as Earl of Frunkpuppy, which is essentially a funny name in my opinion, they stated that Tesla struggles, blame Elon. Tesla succeeds, say Elon isn't the founder. Thanks, media. And Elon Musk responded with a laughing emoji. So this is just a reminder to you guys that a lot of news outlets, they like to get clicks and views, so they make the most clickbaity titles, or they try so hard to get as many clicks as they possibly can get, and they often twist things, they often lie, and the truth is not always what is being shown. Because if you look at the mainstream media, typically they say bad things about the full self-driving technology. Is that the truth? The answer is there should be more good than bad to be said, because generally it's shown that the full self-driving technology will save more lives for the long-term future, and it's a work in progress. So people often don't look at the achievements. They whisper the achievements and they scream the faults, but it's still a technology that's improving every single day, and the outlook still looks very bullish for the long term. I mean, anytime you zoom out of the charts, if you go very far back, you could see the overall trend still looks bullish. We were in the 600s back around sometime in like 2022, I think that was. I'm sorry, 2021. We were in the 600s, we were in the 500s. We're nowhere near that right now. We're still doing well. So don't necessarily fret, don't be scared. Be calm, cool, and collected, and just be patient if you're a long term investor, because this thing is going to recover. For the short term, if you are a day trader, look at your technicals, pay very close attention to support and resistance levels, and be prepared for anything, because you have to study what the chart does in the past to understand it. Also, use your indicators from your different EMAs to your moving averages to other things like that you want to use in addition to them, like the RSI, MACD, DMI. Be prepared, be ready. There's going to be a lot of volatility for the next upcoming weeks. We are going to see some good price action, I think, after we see the rate hike announced. So be ready for that. Other than that, things are still fine. We're doing well. Just be patient. The market may be kind of shaky. It's not in the best of states, but I do believe we're going to overcome if you are patient, you remain calm, cool, and collected, and you don't let your emotions get the best of you. With that said and done, enjoy the weekend, guys. I wish the best for each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.